Hare Krishna. I am Rajarsi Dasa. Welcome. This is a special program in observance of the month of Kartik. Exactly what is this month of Kartik? Well, Kartik is one of the months in the Vedic calendar. So it's a month that is very dear to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Now, many wonderful activities or pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna took place during this month of Kartik. Of course, in the Caribbean, not too many people are familiar with the observance of the month of Kartik. Perhaps in Trinidad, thousands of people would go to the beach. That's the Kartik Purnima, or the final day after Kartik. They call it Kartik Nahan in Trinidad. Kartik Snan means they go and take that bath on that particular day. Or in Suriname, thousands of people would perform Ganga Puja. It's a different idea on that same Kartik Purnima. Or in Guyana, they would say Tirat. Tirat means Tirtha, holy place. But is that one day observance? However, in Vrindavan, India, for a whole month, thousands of people from all over the world would come to this holy place, Vrindavan, the place where Lord Krishna performed many wonderful superhuman activities 5,000 years ago, and they would visit different holy places during this period of time. What's so special? Well, mercy of the Supreme Lord is multiplied 100 times during this month of Kartik. Whatever, any devotion done in that holy place has 100 times more benefit. It's like all year round you would see a price in a store for this particular commodity. All year round it's $1,000. But then at this particular occasion, there is a discount, 50% discount. And the very same thing, at that particular time, you can get it half the price. Well, the Supreme Lord makes available His mercy in many wonderful ways. So, just to mention some of the wonderful pastimes that took place during this month of Kartik. Many popular pastimes, for example, Govardhan, the lifting when Lord Sri Krishna 5,000 years ago lifted the Govardhan hill and held it up for 7 days to protect his devotees. Of course, Lord Krishna there displayed his supreme power, that he is the all-powerful person. He lifted up Govardhan hill and held it up for 7 days. Now, Govardhan hill that's a holy place. Later on, we'll hear more about Govardhan Puja that took place during the month of Kartik. So, of course, what is the purpose of all of this? Krishna says in the Gita, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha, that anyone who understands my janma, my appearance, my birth, and my karma, my activities that are divyam, divine, then if a person understands this in tatvataha, in truth, then upon giving up this body or the time of death, he'll not have to take birth in this world again, but he'll attain my eternal abode. So it's important to point out that there are no two ways about it. If at the time of death we haven't reawakened our love for God, we will not be able to reinstate ourselves or go back to the eternal world, the kingdom of God. The result will be to return to this world, 8,400,000 species, and we run the risk of being degraded into lower forms. Another wonderful pastime that took place during this month of Kartik is the wonderful pastime of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna, which we'll deal with in detail in a later program also. But this program concludes in a very beautiful way. Mother Yashoda binding Krishna's abdomen, and he is called Damodara, Dama Udara, one whose abdomen is bound. So Krishna took the opportunity to do something very amazing, very wonderful. There were two huge trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and his little baby Krishna dear pulled this grinding mortar that he was bound to this. Krishna was bound by his mother Yashoda to this grinding mortar, and he pulled down these two huge trees. And then something very amazing happened. Two beautiful personalities came out of these trees that came crashing down to the ground, and they came offering prayers to Lord Krishna. So, in Bhagavad, this wonderful narration of these two personalities, who are they? They are Manigriva and Nalakuvara, two sons of Kuvera, who is the treasurer of the Devatas. There are millions of Devatas, and they supply different necessities. Now the Devatas, their treasurer is Kubera. And his two sons, being exposed to great opulence, we're going to learn many lessons. Some of the lessons from reading Bhagavad, how Bhagavad deals with these many wonderful accounts that is meant to purify us. So we're going to look at some important points. And one, this misbehavior, when we turn away from God in this world, there is a tendency to become carried away, and the Supreme Lord has arranged for punishment in this world. We're always suffering in this world, and we should know that God is all good. Yes, He is all loving. He's our dearmost friend. People have a problem putting this together, that here on one hand religious people, they're saying that God is all powerful, He's all good, He's all loving, He's our Father, and we're going through hell in this world. So we're going to look into this pastime, how when we turn away from God, in ignorance we perform many sinful activities, and by the Lord's arrangement, every action produces a reaction. Now when we get the reaction, or when we suffer in this world, it is the Lord's mercy on us to indicate to us we're in the wrong place. Now, about rectification. If we can be chastised by some great personality, we know that in order to teach, sometimes the coach or the teacher may chastise the student. So we'll learn about corrective measures, how it is meant for our benefit. Then we'll see that how occurs from a powerful, pure devotee of the Lord, like Narad Muni, is a benediction because it gives us the opportunity to behold the Supreme Lord face to face. So these are wonderful incidents in this pastime. So let us go to Srimad Bhagavatam, this very wonderful scripture that deals with the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, and try to extract. It is called Amrit. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord is described as Amrit. Amrit means nectar. So it says, Pibantiye Bhagavata Atmanaksatam Katha Amritam Shravanaputeshu Samritam. That those who drink through oral reception, Pibanti means to drink. In this world, we know people are trying to derive pleasure from drinking all types of things. But Hari Katha Amrit, the nectar of the description of the Supreme Lord's glories, this is the real Amrit. It is the real pleasure for the soul. Mundane pleasure, it may appear to be enjoyable in the beginning because of our perverted nature in contact with this material nature. But Krishna says, it appears like nectar in the beginning, but it is like poison in the end. So to hear the wonderful glories of the Lord, Bhavausarat Shrotamano Biramat. Bhavaushadi mean it is the right medicine for the souls in this world who are undergoing a diseased condition of existence. What is this diseased condition of existence? Unlimited, unfulfilled desires. Krishna says in the Gita, Kamaraupena Kauntiya Dushparena Nalena Cha. This calm or this lust, burning, unfulfilled desires, he says, is never satisfied. It burns like fire. You have a fire blazing, but if you pour more fuel into it, it will just blaze more and more. So people have so many burning desires, and as they try to indulge and enjoy more and more, then the desires increase more and more as pouring fuel into the fire simply blazes more and more. So it says, where there is calm, there is no Ram. Ram means God, the reservoir of all pleasure. So if we actually want to be happy, we have to contact God, the reservoir of all pleasure. And if we can do so in the human form, then the human life can be successful. So, hearing Bhagavat, this is one of the means in this particular age of Kali Yuga. He said in this age of Kali Yuga, Kalera Dosha Nidhi. Kali Yuga means an ocean of falls. What are these falls? Prayenalpa yushak sabhya kalos min yuge janaha manda sumanda matayor manda bhagya hyupadrutaha. In this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They're lazy, they're quarrelsome, they're misguided, they're unlucky, and they're always disturbed. So during this month of Kartik, this wonderful prayer called Damodar Ashtakam from the Padma Puran is chanted morning and evening. This prayer from the Padma Puran, conversation between Narad Muni and the sage Satyavrata, is all auspicious, and it's 8 verses describing the glorious activities of Lord Sri Krishna in that form as Damodara. So we can enjoy some of these wonderful mellows. So let us look now at some more of this Bhagavad Katha narrated by Shukadev Goswami 5,000 years ago to the Emperor King Parikshit. Just in case we think that we're too important to hear the glories of the Lord, we should know that the Emperor of the earth planet, Maharaj Parikshit, he delighted in hearing the wonderful descriptions of Lord Sri Krishna. So, let us hear the king's eagerness to hear the glories of Lord Sri Krishna. Raja Uvacha Katyatam Bhagavani Tartayo Shapasya Karanam Yatad Vigarhitam Karma Yena Vadevarshisthamaham. King Parikshit inquired from Shukadev Goswami, O great and powerful saint, what was the curse of Nalakuvars and Manigrivas? What was the cause of Nalakuvars and Manigrivas having been cursed by Narad Muni? What did they do that was so abominable that even Narad the great sage became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, because the two sons of Kuvera had been elevated to the association of Lord Shiva, of which they were very much proud, they were allowed to wander in the garden attached to Kailash Hill on the bank of the Mandakini Ganga River. Taking advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni. Accompanied by women singing after them, they would wander in that garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication. Within the waters of the Mandakini Ganges, which were crowded with gardens of lotus flowers, the two sons of Kuvera would enjoy young girls, just like two male elephants enjoying in the water with female elephants. O Maharaj Parikshit, by some auspicious opportunity for the two boys, the great saint Devarshi Narad once appeared there by chance. Seeing them intoxicated with rolling eyes, he could understand their situation. Now we'll just share the purport with you that is very philosophical, very wonderful. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastri Koi Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoi. Wherever Narad Muni goes, any moment at which he appears is understood to be extremely auspicious. Now if you look at Hindi movies, maybe you tend to be misguided and think that Narad Muni is just a comedian. But quite the contrary. He is one of the great Mahajans, one of the 12 authorities on the process of devotion to God. So, this verse is saying, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastrikoi. By getting the company, the association of such a powerful saintly person, Sarva Shastrikoi, the conclusion of all scriptures can be understood. Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoi. Lava Matra means a moment, a brief period. It says that Sarva Siddhi Hoi, all perfection can be attained. So Srila Prabhupada comments, Brahmanda Brahmite konya bhagyavan jeev Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bij. This verse, Brahmanda Brahmite, says that the jivas, that the souls, are wandering all over the universe, taking bodies, one body after another, like a football being kicked all over the field. It says, but Guru Krishna prasad, Guru Krishna kripa, the prasad or the kripa or the mercy of Guru and Krishna gives one this bhakti lata bij, the seed of devotion where one's spiritual life begins. So if a person is fortunate in his life to come in contact with a Mahatma, a great soul, such powerful persons are described as holy places personified. They are like the personification or the embodiment of holy places. Coming in contact with them can revive or weaken a person's devotion. So Srila Prabhupada says, according to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary systems, and some are going down into the lower planetary systems. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate, according to this verse, Bhagyavan Jeev, a fortunate soul. One is very fortunate. He gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service. From Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 19:151. Narad appeared in the garden to give the two sons of Kuvera the seed of devotional service, even though they were intoxicated. Saintly persons know how to bestow mercy upon the fallen souls. So there are many sinful people in this world indulging in many sinful activities: intoxication, meat eating, gambling, illicit sex. And saintly persons, it's their heart, it's their sincere desire. They feel aggrieved to see people indulging in sinful activities that bring about grave reactions and suffering in this world. So saintly persons are always inclined to save them. So then it continues. Upon seeing Narad, the naked young girls of the demigods were very much ashamed. Afraid of being cursed, they covered their bodies with their garments. But the two sons of Kuvera did not do so. Instead, not caring about Narad, they remained naked. So the young girls, they were conscientious of the situation. They were respectful. They covered their bodies. But these two drunken persons, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, they remained indifferent to the presence of the great saint Narad. Narad Muni said, among all the attractions of material enjoyment, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in an aristocratic family, and being learned. When one is uneducated, but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling. Sounds a little familiar like today's society, right? Las Vegas, the casinos here and there, all over. Wine, women, gambling, they go together, not so? Right. Well, Narad is speaking here about the bewilderment of the intelligence. Now, good karma, good fortune means, Janma, you have the opportunity to take some elevated birth. They were in an aristocratic family, sons of Kuvera. They had the association of Lord Shiva. But yet, they were so proud that they were disrespectful to Narad Muni. So, we would learn about these wonderful activities, how people, Kunti Devi says, those who are too proud of these things, my Lord, they cannot call out to you with sincere feelings. That's a problem. So people, they take shelter of their wealth, their beautiful bodily features, their aristocratic position. So that's why Kunti Devi said, my Lord, let these calamities come so that we can turn to you, we can depend on you. So during this auspicious month of Kartik, we would like to feature, we would like to continue these wonderful narrations and enjoy the wonderful Damodarashtakam prayers. So we would like everyone to please take up this practice of observing the month of Kartik, which will give some more details in following programs. I'm Rajarsi Dasa saying Hare Krishna, and do join us again next week for another presentation.